Welcome to Race Day, race fans. My name is Webbo and I'm here to take you through today's fantastic season opener of the all-important Deviant Racing League's very first season of Season 4 of 2025. This is Season 4.1 and we're ready to get underway with an all-new GTD era beginning tonight with the GTD Pro portion of the World Challenge. New drivers, new teams, new liveries, as you'd expect, but only very similar, pushing and fighting as always. Looking forward to what the drivers are going to be able to do here at Daytona. This is the International Speedway, the 24 layout. As you can see, this is Zen running at full speed in qualifying at the moment. 3 minutes into qualifying of a 10-minute session, followed by a 1-hour race as always. But Zen did have a problem coming into this final chicane section at the end, the bus stop, and picked up a half-second penalty on his outlap, which means potentially it could well be Floody, as we sit on board with Floody here, who will be the guy who will set that first fastest time. At least he is the first one on track at the moment. It's nothing to do here other than to point the steering wheel in the right direction. The foot is very firmly planted, the right foot is planted anyway. We cross the line with a 1:45.9. That is beaten by Nismo straight away. We've got Camzilla out there who puts in a third best time, 1.5 seconds off the pace. And as we mentioned before, Zen was a little bit slow. Globus goes third position, 1/4 of a second only around this 3.6 mile road course at Daytona, with then Izzy crossing the line in 5th. We have Zen in 6th right now, dropped down slightly as Preston managed a 9th place, but he hasn't, I don't think, quite set his main time yet. Berman's down there and coming into the pits. We've got Mercury out to cross the line and go 10th on a 1 minute 47.6. That didn't seem to register particularly well though. I would imagine right now that Zen is going for it once again. He's right behind Camzilla. Being behind another driver is not a bad place to be. And through here, easy for me to say, as we've got Nismo, Floody and Junkai as the top 3 on the standings. Of course, the draft is very, very powerful here at Daytona. Lots of flat out sections. We're heading back down towards the chicane in the bus stop area, and a big steal of the first apex through there. The car understeering wildly in towards turn 10 section, the final section of the bus stop, but it's a personal best for Zen. He's 2.0 seconds off the ultimate pace so far. 1.4 seconds better than he's been before though on this particular lap. He is losing a little bit of time though coming through the bus stop. I think being a little bit shy on the way through here, coming through the NASCAR turns 3 and 4 to set a time. It's an 8th place only, and he is 1.4 seconds away from the pace. Camzilla goes to pole position on 0.366 tenths of a second clear of Floody's second place. Nismo though down in 3rd and struggling at this stage. We haven't seen Komakopi yet. He's following drivers at the moment in P7 to cross the line. No better on this particular lap. It looks like it's going to be another hot lap though to start this one. We've got Floody out there. Junkai has gone 2nd position. So I'm anticipating that Nismo is going to be building his speed at this stage. Full tank of fuel though. The cars will be a little bit heavy on that front axle as you brake heavily down. Camzilla, Junkai, Floody, your top 4 with 3.5 minutes left to run in qualifying. Hello to Jim, who joins us in the live chat. Hello to everybody who is watching. Do say hello. We love to give you all shout outs here on the channel as we get in towards the end of qualifying. I imagine the top times will be coming through as Camzilla, Junkai, Floody, of course, all on the soft tyres. Nismo only 0.06 of a second away from the podium positions here, potentially on the start of the grid. As Jim said, they looked out with low wind today. 3.4 meters per second to the west is the wind stats right now. Nismo crosses the line and that was no improvement this time out, but he's working the wheel and he's working hard to try and make that happen next time out. Let's have a look then, see about Larry. I know Larry often has an audience watching with him. Through the final sector is going to go Larry here, right behind Mercury. As I say, getting a good steal of the apex running through there. Looks like able to predict exactly where track limits are going to come, but no. I did think perhaps that fourth turn of the bus stop was a problem, and Larry, unfortunately, with a penalty there as he went through. This is Comacopa about to head straight back into the pits using the easy cut to get into the pits. This is Mercury to cross the line. He's set a time of a 1:47.3 on that lap. It's not quicker than he's been before. Let's go head back up to the sharp end though, because it looks like we've got Camzilla about to cross the line here to finish out his lap, although that looks like that was slightly slow. I think perhaps just an outlap here at the moment. S. Berman has gone into second position, but it was Junkai who is flying through the bus stop and trying to get within that quarter of a second just over that he is there, away from Camzilla's time overall. Riding out very high on the wall as we head through the NASCAR turn for the official turn. The initial official turn 11. We're finishing out this one into turn 12 and starting our next flying lap with Junkai and hammering through the gears. Junkai this year, this season, will be driving the Porsche 911 RSR from 2017. Just have a look behind and we're clear behind for Junkai. I'm expecting bigger things though from Nismo and Zen, although they have had to retire their all-conquering Lamborghini for this particular iteration of the season. That is a purple time from Junkai, 4/10 to the good. He absolutely rattled through that first sector, heading through turns 1 and 2. This is the international. Sorry, this is actually the West Horseshoe into the in and out. Difficult to see the track limits sometimes through here. Easy to transgress over the line. Cross that yellow apron line that is painted black. Don't touch the yellow apron line if you can help it throughout the rest. And it does look like it's going to be a really good lap here for Junkai, with the only work left to do into the bus stop. You're looking for your braking marker boards top right on the catch fencing. 3, 200, 100 and down into fourth gear. Big turn in. Expect the car to understeer because you're carrying so much weight on the car through the corners, up and back onto the banking. We've lost a tiny shade of time, but I think it's going to be good enough unless Camzilla and Berman managed to set their times on catching the draft from the cars in front. This is looking like a potential pole position for Junkai and his all-new team, Universal Studios team. And no, he lost time in that final sector, down to a personal best, but only third position. Camzilla, it looks like, has got the pole secured here, at least, for Team America in the Dodge. We'll talk you through the teams in just a second, but it's Camzilla with the pole position, only clear by 59 thousandths of a second from Nismo in the end, who did post a time and got himself up onto the front row of the grid. Fantastic qualifying here from the Deviant Racing League GTD Pro drivers. We'll see, obviously, back to back with this broadcast, we will see the GTD drivers still to come. Nice Webbo sticker on the hood of the Dodge Viper here for Team America, and a fantastic one lap there from Camzilla. A 1:45.531 is the time to beat today. Nismo in the second position. Nismo driving the all-green entry today. This is for the Team Karate Tortoises, which is sponsored by Turtle Wax, just to confuse matters as much as possible, with S. Berman, who managed that third place time overall. Terrific stuff from S. Berman. I think perhaps one for the books there. And then we've got Glovas with the Amazon Prime Team Amazon livery as well. And he's slotted into 4th position. Is that true? Could that be true? He's got traction control on 2 as Glovas? That can't be right, surely. Next up, we got Junkai then down in 5th position, but we saw how close that would have been. The first 2 sectors were amazing from Junkai that time out, but this is for the Universal Studios, and they are repping the Minions film livery this time out. Kamzilla with the pole position from Nismo, who will start alongside him on the 2nd row. S. Berman and Glovas with Junkai, Floody in 5th and 6th. We have Larry and Komakopa in 7th and 8th position, with the BMW back with us as well this season. The genesis of Don't Need Time is in P9. We have Mercury in P10. Next up, we have Chaotica in P11, Zen in 12th, followed by Izzy in 13th, Preston in 14th. Arcane will be our safety car driver today, and presumably will be racing later on. But we'll have a few moments then to talk through the current pairings. The Team Karate Tortoises in the BMW M6 GT3 will be the combination of Nismo and Larry. Team Amazon will be Zen and Mercury, and you probably saw that there were there were more than 2 cars painted in Amazon colour scheme, and I'll talk to you a little bit more about that in just a moment. Ferrari 458 Italias are the Amazon Prime, the Team Amazon livery. Team Chameleon is going to be Glovas and Don't Need Time. Team Chameleon are so called because they are going to be they're going to be stealing other people's liveries and blending in and trying to cause some confusion. So we saw Glovas driving an Amazon car. I don't know if this is just a cheat to get away with not having to build liveries, but that's at least the information that I've got so far. Team Pike Fitness will be represented by Zansin and Preston, and they'll be driving the Lexus RCF GT3. Team Universal, we saw them, Komakopa and Junkai, repping for the GTT Pro in the Porsche 911. Team Cannonball in the McLaren 650S will be Chaotica and Izzy, with Team America in the Dodge Viper, with Floody and Kamzilla, their drivers for this particular season. We're about to get underway for the race then. 1 hour awaits us. Safety car will be happening as well. I haven't actually seen the safety car announcement. There it is from Jim. Lap 16 is where we'll be, but the 3.61 mile circuit awaits us. The cars are getting ready to get underway, and hopefully we will get ourselves some fantastic racing for you. It's Kamzilla from Nismo on the front row of the grid as the cars line up for 1 hour of racing around the Daytona road course. Still to come then, the GTD series, but it's lights out and go at the start, and it's a slightly bogged down Viper initially, but the second phase was fantastic for Kamzilla. Nismo slotting into third, but we've got a three-way battle between Glovas, Berman and Floody heading down into the first turn. This is a difficult corner at full speed, slightly easier of course as they come into it on the first run, and slowly but surely the drivers negotiating their way through. Glovas hopping over onto the grass. You can see that black stripe down the middle of the Amazon car, indicating that it is in fact Team Chameleon, not the Team Amazon. I'm not sure I like this, quite frankly. It's causing a lot of difficulty for myself to track. But we've got Mercury 9th, Zen in 10th, Komakopa down there in 11th in the all-chrome Gru Minions livery, Chaotica, Izzy and Preston, with Arcane in the safety car at the back of the grid. Kamzilla leads them, though, away, and Nismo playing catch-up, but also watching his mirrors because a Minion is prowling around in the background. It's Junkai behind him as they head on through. This one is the in-and-out corner, and Junkai has a good run coming through here, looking for that little bump draft as they head down towards the bus stop for the first time of asking. We're expecting that safety car. Lap 16, and here is Junkai. Nismo shaping towards the inside, back to the middle. As Kiros Kai says, go Karate Tortoises. I think we may have, we're trying to avoid a lawsuit calling it the Karate Tortoises as we head down into the bus stop. Are we going to see any big moves? We are going to see a big move. That was Don't Need Time heading on in towards things. He's showing the default livery here. I think that might be in error for our race. It's Floody who had a look down the inside, but a little bit of contact as Donny Time tried to sweep round the inside but couldn't quite make it. So back to live action then, as Mercury is fighting off the advances at the moment of Donny Time and Zen. It's looking very busy down the back stretch here at the moment, with Mercury going the low side here, trying to get the inside line on Komakopa, and that was a little bit rude. Komakopa racing in the VR head system. It is limited view, especially on the blind side there for Komakopa, and certainly Mercury managed to find a gap down the inside and head up back into 7th position. That is the Gru mobile of Komakopa in the all chrome livery. Donny Time is dropping back in the order, and Zen just getting to grips with this Ferrari for the first time. Manages 10th place only at the moment on the hard tyres, though, it must be said. Camzilla leads. He is also on the hard tyre. They're trying to get 16 laps out of this first single stint before the safety car, if they can get away with it. Then we have Nismo and Junkai, who has put the medium tyres on and is starting to look a little bit racy. That Minion car looking great out in the Daytona, Florida sunshine, as they run down towards the banking and off the sector time beam and down towards the bus stop once again. And it's a purple sector. It's lap 2. They're all going to be purple sectors. We've got a busier time happening though in the background. Looks like Komakopa and Don't Need Time. Mercury having a look through as well. Jim saying the fuel won't go 16 laps, so they're looking to try and run around 9 laps of fuel to drain the tank on the hard tyre, get rid of that hard tyre as early as possible. There is a big change to the regulations. We've got a battle for the start for the lead though at the moment. Nismo with a better run through the bus stop. Camzilla slotting back in front. Don't quite know how he managed that one as they try and break and get down into the apex of turn 1. Camzilla tried his best to defend that one, but Nismo was planted in that BMW and completes the move into the lead of the race. Let's have a look at that once again, perhaps this time from chase cam, as the Turtle Wax livery heading down into turn 1. Camzilla just left up, braking that tiny bit too late and couldn't quite get the anchors on enough to get back into the action. That's Nismo then, our new leader, heading into the West Horseshoe, turn 5, official turn 5 here, and back out again, heading towards the in and out. And remember, Junkai has got the traction advantage at the moment on these medium tyres. Both cars equally fat with fuel. The regulation change I was going to talk about is we have slowed the flow rate of the refueling. So pit stops will take longer, and the drivers will have the opportunity to under or over fuel and take the appropriate penalty or advantage. Nismo running low. Camzilla vying with him for that first position once again. TDs has apparently DM'd me mid-race, which is not the best of timing for me, unfortunately, but I'll try and get into it if I can. Thanks for the notification and the effort. Camzilla into P1. Let's take a look at that once again as they continue to run side by side. Camzilla holding on into that bus stop and completing the move. It looks like Nismo with it struggling away out of the final turn, and now back on the chase as we see the Fanatec rear wing of that Viper. We've got the Minion in the rear view mirror at the moment as we click on through the gears. And again, Camzilla struggling with the Viper to get down. It looks like we're going to see the Minion livery of Junkai try and find his way through as well. Camzilla still defending hard, though, as they head into the international horseshoe. And it's Nismo just being edged out slightly on towards the track limits there on the exit of the corner. Camzilla putting in a robust defence, but Glovas has got the car underneath him now. As Arcane says, was there contact? We'll have another look, shall we, at that situation. Back to Camzilla perhaps, and we'll have a closer look if we can. I don't think so quite, though. Nismo just overspeed slightly on the corner, couldn't quite get into it and we're back to live action as Camzilla is fighting off the minion behind of Junkai. Spot a car on this very, very wide camera choice here at the moment, but Junkai looking for the opportunity down into the bus stop, might just wait. He's been able to watch what's happened to Camzilla's Viper, and the difficulty he has getting the car turned into turn one. Perhaps that's the tactic here at play for Junkai. The Porsche is a very stable car on braking and getting the nose in. It's a little bit loose on the rear, and it is giving up a little bit of straight line speed here, so we will see as they head through. Nearly half a tank of fuel has been spent already. That backs up what was said earlier on in the chat, as braking heavily then. Junkai slightly the wider, he'll be able to get the car tucked right in. Camzilla a little bit better this time, and I think that's going to be Larry now catching the back of this group, who are holding each other up, no doubt, on the hard tyres, as Junkai into second position, and we've got Nismo in that third place. No panic though evident. Globas on the medium tyre. We've got Larry on the hards, who's brought those hard tyres in very, very softly. We've got the red stripes on Larry's BMW. We've got the blue stripes on Nismo's car to help distinguish our karate tortoises, as it were. But Junkai heading down. Hi to Alexandra, to Kiros Kai, and Saito, as well as T-Deeds, who is Timid Umbrian, who have joined us in the live chat. Fantastic to have you here. And then we've got Junkai then vying for that lead. If he can possibly get on terms, he's got to use the slipstream of the Viper. He's there or thereabouts, but that Porsche is a little bit on the slow side in comparison, so he needs every bit of that draft of the wide and low slung Dodge Viper. Nismo in third, we've got Globas in fourth, Larry in fifth. We'll quickly run through the order. Komakopa, little gap, but out to sixth position in no man's land at the moment. Only time in seventh. The gaps have opened out in the midfield. Eighth is Mercury. Zen is ninth. Then we have Floody, Berman, Chaotica, and Izzy and Preston at the back of the grid at the moment. Izzy and Chaotica fighting over these positions right now, as Junkai is trying to stay with Camzilla, whose dramas of understeer at the moment seem to be slightly behind him here. Junkai, though, getting the nose tucked in neat and tidy. Camzilla just making sure that he can stay to the right-hand side of the track as they approach the horseshoe, the international horseshoe, turn number 3 here in towards the corner, and then maximising every inch of the racetrack and area that is not grass, at least. And Camzilla using a little bit of grass on the entry and through into the dogleg. Down towards the west horseshoe we go again. Similar profile to turn 3, this turn 5, slightly wider, and you can brake slightly later as well. You've probably spent less time on the full throttle. Larry into fourth, calls Jim. That was a good shout from him. So we've got Karate Tortoises in third and fourth positions. Still a big battle though going on over that second position, as the top 5 are all in a line with each other, can all see each other either in mirrors or ahead. But the battle over P1 continues. I think Junkai slightly closer than he has been before through here. Down in towards the bus stop we go, and just putting the pressure on as much as possible. BMW of Nismo running through. Junkai had a good exit out of the corner that time, and they run high on the banking, sort of a middle lane at the moment, but you will see cars running very, very high as they run through here as well later, I'm sure, into the race, as the grip drops down. Saito saying Larry on the hards. All our drivers, so with the exception of Junkai and Globas, the other 3 in this group are all on the hard tyres as well. So back down towards turn 1 we go again. It's lap 7, and the fuel is burning off at a heck of a rate. Camzilla, Junkai, Nismo and Larry, with Globas in 5th place. Komakopa in the Gru car for Team Universal is trying his best here to get on terms with the lead group, but it's not quite happening. This is Floody and Mercury fighting. Floody in the race leading Dodge Viper at the moment, but in P7. Mercury just half a second away in the Team Amazon car, in the Ferrari, that is. Try and spot the chameleons of Team Chameleon, who are using someone else's livery today as well. Mercury then just trying to get that Ferrari, which is a handful, that Ferrari. Shout out to Gus as well, who is watching and cheering on Father Larry. Hopefully, we need to know, of course, how Gus rates the Karate Tortoises livery of the team this race, and whether that is going to change as we run through. Berman, Zen and Chaotica 9th, 10th, 11th. We've got Izzy ahead of Preston here in 12th, and then Don't Need Time at the back of the grid at the moment. He has, though, pitted first of all and has put on the medium tyre. Safety car waits to come out on lap 16, and we have 47.5 minutes still to go. Lots and lots of racing still for you. Looks like we've got Larry fighting off Glovas at the moment. As Arcane says, TCS 1 for Berman, very interesting. I kept seeing TCS 2 for Glovas, as you can see right here on the screen, which you probably won't be particularly impressed at, but that has happened. Usually we only get the track map view on the car information screen, but unfortunately for him, that's what that is showing. Larry, though, just getting a little bit ahead here of Glovas as they run through. Looks like Junkai unable really to battle at this stage with Camzilla's Viper pace. Certainly at this point, it's a yes. It's a, what is that? It's an 8 thumbs up from Alex, from Gus apparently. Saito saying, mistook me and thought most were on mediums. No, exactly. Larry is cooking for sure, but right up there. This is Mercury in P8, Berman in P9. We have Zen in the Amazon Ferrari of P10, and then Chaotica is trying his best. Captain Chaos on the side of the car in the McLaren. So we have that's Team Cannonball of the Cannonball Run fame, and then Izzy also in the Cannonball McLaren, but in a very different livery here in P12. We'll look at liveries in detail later on, and Preston in P13. Don't need time. There's no big gaps, no small gaps, I should say, at this stage of proceedings. It is very much about the top 5 here. This is on board then with Junkai, and we can see how quickly we can get the car up to speed. 160, 165 miles an hour. Let's break 170 now as we head into the pits at the end of lap 8. They didn't even make the 9 laps on the tanks of fuel. Let's see if Komakopa has saved some fuel. He has. He goes into the lead of the race then, Komakopa, running that medium GRU livery, and running very nicely indeed, keeping a little bit of fuel back here in the Porsche for the Team Universal Studios. I'm going to be really excited to see what liveries they come up with this season. Mercury is in P2 now as the cars are exiting the pit lane area, but our main pitting front group of drivers have not yet completed their pit stops. They are going to be absolutely fuming at the fuel flow speed that has been reduced now. I did hear that it's partly my fault that this happened, because I was calling out these drivers for over-fueling. Don't Need Time slots into 10th position, right ahead of a whole bunch of very, very quick drivers. And it's Junkai who has got the jump ahead of Camzilla in the pit lane. Now, has he under-fueled? No, apparently not. He's just managed to do that one. Go Larry, says Gus, through Alexandra. So that's great. Saito had his comment held for review there, unfortunately, saying captain. I've tried to say show, but it's not working on my end here, but it's fantastic. So heading through, then we go. It is Camzilla down into 9th position. Up at the front, we've got Komakopa, and he is coping on the fuel. He's just about managed to run this. Look how dry that car is in terms of the fuel load. Mercury has a little bit more in hand, but Junkai was able to save fuel running behind Cam. Calls Arcane, so great shout again from him. Thank you for that. As Zen heads into the pits as well. It is very much a race of two halves, but S. Berman is staying out for a third lap on this run in the hard tyres. So he is managing to make this run very, very long indeed. But S. Berman in at that first position. Izzy in second place as well, also conserving a huge amount of fuel. Chaotica is now in third and Preston in fourth, but Junkai is ahead of Camzilla. The gap is 0.6 of a second, give or take, as Cam is trying to get those tyres up to temperature. Another set of hard tyres will take the drivers through to after the safety car if they wish it to be for the end. But remember, lap 16 will come, I think, before the actual halfway period of the race. So they're still going to have to run the medium tyre. It is it is mandated that they run both compounds of tyre in this race, and of course they've got aggressive fuel use and very slow fuel flow rating that is happening at the moment. Nismo in 8th has got Don't Need Time between himself and Camzilla. He's not panicking too much. He knows that Don't Need Time is not really in the same race as the drivers at this stage. I'm just trying to see if we should have a better livery on Don't Need Time. We should have the chameleon livery, but not able to hide amongst the Team Amazon cars at this stage. Camzilla is in that net second position now, regaining some speed from Junkai. Behind him, Don't Need Time, and then we've got Nismo running ahead of Larry in essentially, this is kind of P4 position. Larry just running over track limits slightly there. We'll just see if a penalty pops up on the car. I think he's got away with that one. S. Berman, as we shout cowabunga on the Raphael-like Larry in P9. Izzy's in the pits, and I imagine many drivers now heading into the pits, but S. Berman and Preston are staying out once again to run through another full lap 12. They will run on the first tank of fuel, but the front runners are pushing very hard indeed, and that's why they are using more fuel. Running through turns 2 and into the international horseshoe now of turn 3. Junkai leads, but by only 0.5 of a second. So this is the Team America. No doubt here about the country or team affiliation for Team America, as usual. It's not Team America World Police either. It's a very, very snaky take on our Team America, and suddenly the dusk is affecting the drivers significantly. You can see our headlights shining brightly as we're in lap 11, fastest lap of the race so far. Incoming, I think, from Camzilla here, who is now tucked underneath Junkai's diffuser on the Porsche. It's looking like a really good time now, as another nerf on the rear of the Minion liveried Team Universal car, and running through the bus stop they go. Junkai will not be wanting a bump draft just ahead of the braking zone, but thankfully Camzilla timed that one pretty well. Camzilla still fastest of all, and just the flat out section now, and caught underneath the rear wing and into the slipstream. Here is Camzilla. I think this is going to be an attempted pass, or is he just happy to continually nerf Junkai in the rear? He's lost a little bit of time, but still set a fastest lap of the race here on lap 12, now on his medium tyres. Again, terrific understeer into oversteer on the entry for the Team America Dodge Viper. Don't Need Time holding on to that 4th position. He's got similar pace at the moment to these race leading cars. He is light on fuel, they are full with fuel, and he has the medium tyres in a near to expired level right now, but the rest of the drivers around him. I've got Nismo's gone onto the mediums for this stint, presumably planning to swap them out before the safety car on lap 16, but the Turtle Wax sponsored Karate Tortoises are 5th and 6th right now. Preston still leads us. Somehow or other, Preston is still in the lead of this race, ahead of Junkai's Team Universal, who really has the net lead of the race. Let's have a look at Preston right now. On the final dregs of fuel here is Preston. Preston racing for Team Pike Fitness. Also in red, white and blue though, and not to be confused with the Team America liveries. But the Lexus going pretty well at this stage. Back out to Junkai in second place, and Cam Ziller following him through. Behind them, Don't Need Time is still ahead of Nismo, who isn't pushing at this stage, it looks like to me anyway. Zen and Nismo very much had our previous season to themselves as they were in the Lamborghini. That car has been paused or retired at this stage, and teams have been jumbled up a little bit. That's an issue there for Junkai. Let's have another look at that one. What happened to Junkai as he has been followed by Cam Ziller. He hits the brakes to do the first initial stop here. Gets the car down into the apex. Cam Ziller sweeps around the outside, and it was the switcheroo, and it was Don't Need Time potentially that caused a little bit of a compression between the cars. Junkai down to now net fourth position. Sorry, net third as it actually will be, because he dropped behind Nismo, and really his best chance of keeping this low top speed Porsche in amongst the mix was to stay in P1 or P2. He's lost ground here. Nismo chosen his moment, and he now needs to make the pass over the Genesis outer position of Don't Need Time. Cam Ziller now has the lead, thankfully, that Preston has now pitted. So Cam Ziller back this group, with the exception of Don't Need Time, in the order in which they are in the race without strategy issues. Larry closing in, but wasn't close enough there to make a move on our former leader, Junkai. Larry again very aggressive over that final apex of the corner, through the bus stop, and following in the sparks of the Porsche as you go across the concrete and the asphalt combination here at Daytona. Got the middle seam of the raceway as well, just causing quite a bit of unsettlement in the cars. Cracks down the racetrack, of course, as well. Saito saying Larry's going to let them through, he reckons. But he's got to pass Junkai if possible. 1, 2, 3, 4 is Cam Ziller, Nismo, Junkai and Larry. Komakopa still holding on to that no man's land position of P5. He's 7.4 seconds away from the top four. He is 4.4 seconds ahead of Floody in sixth, who has a similar gap himself to Mercury's Ferrari in P7. Zen is in 8th position, Team Amazon 7th and 8th at this stage, with Izzy for Team Cannonball in the 182 in P9. Berman is hot on his heels at this stage as well. Berman racing as a reserve, I believe, today. I don't see his name in the sheet that I've got anyway. In the main A-team choices, Chaotica for the Cannonball run, he is in P12. And then we've got Glovas down in 13th after the pit stop, and with Preston as well, who likewise took his time to make that first pit stop. Onto the medium tyres for Preston. The soft tyres, though, have made an appearance on board Glovas. He wants to try and get a bit of an undercut here before the safety car comes out. Last chance to pit coming up for the drivers before they come through. Thank you, T-Deeds, Timid Umbrian. I always forget that S. Berman is Zanshin. He is a full-time driver for Team Pike Fitness. His livery hasn't come through, I believe. And into the pits comes Cam Ziller at the last opportunity. But medium tyres, Nismo, he's quite happy on those medium tyres at this stage. So it looks like the driver's trying to shed the unwanted tyre at this stage. Larry into P2. That'll please Gus and Alexandra in the chat, I'm sure. Ozzy is cheering on Chaotica. Good to have you with us, Ozzy. And I really appreciate everybody who's already liked the video and is a long-time subscriber to the channel as well. All the previous 2 seasons races for Deviant Racing League are in a playlist on this channel if you want to watch them back, and you can surprise me with stats throughout a live chat experience as well. Copa is in 4th position, and Don't Need Time is in 5th. We're waiting on the safety car. It's always quite an interesting time to see the safety car come out. Make sure that they don't commit an infraction or spin on cold tyres or something like that. Soft tyres are on the safety car. They are waiting then. Arcane ready. But it is Karate Tortoises for the win at the moment. We've got P1 and P2 in the Turtle Wax cars. We've got, that's Raphael. Am I right? No, it's Leonardo leading Raphael here. They haven't changed their names, unfortunately, to help. But Junkai has made it back into 3rd place thanks to Camzilla taking that 2nd pit stop before the safety car. We're still waiting then for Arcane. Sometimes the safety car driver even misses their cue to come out of the pits, but I am expecting that safety car to get going now as they lower the car off the jacks, and we head out of the pit lane. We skip a huge amount of the track, and we're not going to cross that white line, are we, Arcane? And he picks it up there then. So in P15 officially, but will become the new leader of the race, our safety car driver Arcane. This is Nismo coming in to find him, and we will pause for a chat about those liveries. We've had a good look at the Turtle Wax, but we will go all around the cars. Here we go. If it's not fun, why do it? We've got some Webbo stickers on there as well, the Rolex Daytona 24 special liveries as well. We've got, I think, some Karate Kid silhouette stickers on here as well, but very interesting. Nothing about pizza, or maybe the Karate Tortoises are more of a pasta kind of a vibe. Red wheels, red stripes, red sun visor there for Larry, and he's got the PSVR 2 sticker on the back. I'll need some confirmation if he has made the switch to VR for the actual racing as well. Next up then, Team Universal and the Minion edition here for Junkai, with the blue and the yellow, of course, iconic Minion shades. There is a Minion eye on the roof as well, if you can just see that, and you don't mind a little bit the odd, there's a banana moment as well on the car. Love it, absolutely love it. We're going to really enjoy Team Universal's liveries this season, I'm sure. Copa is in 4th position, and he is racing as team leader, so he gets the Groomobile with a couple of sneaky peeking minions as well. Love this, especially in the night time, and having made sure that some couple of little Webbo stickers dotted here and there on the car as well. So Copa is Gru. Don't Need Time, we don't need to talk about Don't Need Time's livery today, unfortunately, but it should be a chameleon-like copy of the Team Amazon colour scheme. If anyone's still confused about Team Amazon, do let me know about the Team Chameleon. Let me know if you're still confused. This is like a special art house version of the McLaren livery, with the Team Cannonball stickers on for Izzy. Next up, S. Berman Zanshin's car is not as it should be. He should be also rocking the Pike Fitness colours, and we'll have a look at that in a second. Team Cannonball are then represented by an orange striped Chaotica here, Captain Chaos. I'm disappointed that those don't both begin with K, given his gamer tag, but yeah, love it. Very nice livery from him. It hasn't found a brand name that haven't signed up to them. That is quite a collection. We have Team America's Dodge Viper of Camzilla here with the snake, and as I say, perhaps the most prominent Webbo sticker on the group so far. So props to him. Just further back then, this is what the Team Pike Fitness Lexus should look like. Nice little rainbow hologram effect sticker there on there as well, which we like to see. Oh, I just got a nice little close-up of a Webbo sticker as well. So thank you to Team Pike Fitness for making the effort. We've seen this one from Floody, but worth another quick look. I think you need some scales on the roof of that one. I don't know. Then we've got the Team Amazon official entries here, driving the Ferraris, and Team Amazon hoping to always deliver this season. But the number 46 is driven by Mercury. Spot the difference between the two. They are identical, just the race number of the number 83 for Zen. Then we go to Globas, and this kind of looks like an Amazon delivery box that has already had the zipper torn off down the middle. And that's because this is Team Chameleons, and they are stealing other people's liveries. You can just see a chameleon on the rear quarter there, and that is what that's all about then. We talked about Comacopa, Junkai, Larry and Nismo have all decided to pit now mid safety car, so they've given up all the track position possible to end up down in the back of the order. S. Berman and Izzy are now the leaders of the race, and I just want to take a quick moment to give a mention out to Anatole or Maxwell, without whom our collaboration here between Webbo Commentary and Deviant Racing Lead wouldn't be possible, and every previous stream you have Anatole Maxwell to thank for making the connection and for making it all happen. So a big thank you to Anatole, and I want to make sure if he manages to watch that we're thinking of him here during the broadcast. S. Berman then, Zanshin is not in the right colour scheme, but is in Team Pike Fitness. Izzy leads them and will lead the restart. The safety car, it's not like it's not a stressful restart procedure for the drivers. They will go at the line. They get to press the loud pedal only at the line. They are limited to 65 to 70 miles an hour. Actually, we should also have a look at the safety car livery, because I think that was a special gold version with some Webbo stickers on it as well. Yeah, there you go. That's what we want to see. Fantastic stuff. Deviant Racing Team and Webbo Comms. So thanks to the designers of all of our fabulous liveries this season. We look forward to seeing how they get upgraded throughout the rest of the season. It is 26 minutes to go. We're about to get back underway. We have a fully mixed up order of the race. Izzy's on medium tyres with half a tank of fuel. S. Berman likewise at the front of the grid. At the back of the grid we will have cars hoping to try and run this through to a finish. And it is green flag racing once again here at Deviant Racing Lead's GTD Pro World Challenge as Izzy leads S. Berman. And there's a little bit of contact in the fight for P3 as Camzilla is understandably impatient to get back underway. He's managed to get himself back right up there, making the first pit stop of the early group, but he's losing ground on the medium tyre. He cannot seem to find a way through past Preston and Chaotica, who holds on to third position and fourth positions irrespectively, as it were. Camzilla just getting ahead now as they head into the in and out, first of all into the West Horseshoe, and the cars will slow themselves down. Zen and Mercury trading identical paint there, P6 and P7 for the Amazon cars are in the Ferraris, the official Amazon liveries, as we are in full night conditions. Hi to Beyond the Ball, our epic melon fruit friend from the International Racing League that you'll see later on this channel as well. Camzilla making the move then past Chaotica and going the high side round the banking of Daytona and into P3. He is the former leader of the race, perhaps rightful leader once the strategies work out. But medium tyres, 3/4 of a tank of fuel. I'm expecting him still to pit one more time. That it will be the case for the majority of the field as well. Izzy leads Berman, leads Camzilla and Chaotica, with Preston back there in 5th place at the moment, having been moved aside for the raging Camzilla and Team America. Mercury and Zen are 6th and 7th. Floody is in 8th position and about to be attacked here, I think, from Globas, with all of our previous leaders towards the back of the grid right now. We've got Larry ahead of Comacopa as he was earlier on, but Larry in P10 and Comacopa diving, well, down the outside it looks like. Comacopa struggling for grip, but trying to find that way through, as he is now side by side with Nismo, who perhaps is the biggest loser of the big leaders, early leaders here. Comacopa down the inside, Nismo trying the switchback, but they make contact on the way through. Leonardo is not leading at this stage. He is down in that 12th position. Nismo, Don't Need Time is in 13th. Junkai down in 14th place with damage on the car and has had to pit, I think, for those new tyres, fresh tank of fuel. There is a lot of work for Junkai to do now to finish this race in a positive way, losing 6.1 seconds to Don't Need Time, 12.8 to the lead of the race. Back to the front though, Izzy is leading. I'm assuming, Arcane, that he absolutely did crash. Looking at the damage on the car as well, Camzilla goes high side against Berman as they head down towards the bus stop here. The flat out section, Camzilla sneaking the nose, sneaking the tail ahead, in fact, trying to get some slipstream off that McLaren on the way into the bus stop. And the Viper is a very fast car, but it is a big handful. Both the front and rear ends are incredibly lively. Look how busy things are though down in the midfield at the moment. Chaotica, he's got Mercury right on his wing, in his blind spot at the moment. They run side by side, and it's 4 abreast almost down towards the start-finish line here at the Daytona 1 hour race that we have for the first round of the season. Zen has been passed by Floody on the high side. It looks like track position will lend themselves. Will we all get down into the apex? Zen going for a very late one, down right into the inside of all of them. And I think let's check that out again, because Zen came from 3 back here. We just see Zen's car on the way in. It looked like Floody was going to get it, but down the outside as Zen leaves it very late to get the nose of that Ferrari in, and he completes the move. A tremendous overtake from Zen, taking 2 cars into turn 1, into the start of lap 20. Larry, though, needing to move forward as well in the fairly unexciting looking BMW, but it's doing the trick at the moment in the Raphael bandana here. Sponsored by Turtle Wax. Who else would you expect other than maybe a pizza company? As Arcane calls that a dangerous overtake. Saito is covering his eyes. Well, it worked, and no one received any damage or a big slowdown there. Everyone was left on the circuit. Zen gets overtaken by Floody into the bus stop. Nice move from Floody. You don't often see drivers braving a move into there, because quite often that results in the catch coming. Let's have a look from Floody's perspective. How much of a slipstream is he going to give up then? We've got Larry in 7th, Zen in 6th. Behind them, Mercury as well. And this is the Team America car, but that Viper is so slippery in the air. It is able to just really suit this Daytona racetrack. We will see. Throughout the course of the season, I'd love to hear from you guys in the chat as to what you think will be the favourite car to be driving today here at Daytona, but also throughout the course of our 7-race championship. I'll talk to you a little bit more about that later on, I think, where we go. But we've got a North American first 3 rounds of the championship here every 2 weeks on the day, at the same time, and on this channel. But Camzilla leads us, Izzy's in 2nd, and S. Berman in 3rd. Camzilla has a huge gap at the moment, but will his strategy allow him to continue this charge forward in the field? He made that decision early on to pit before the safety car. The rest of the leaders pitted after or during the safety car even, and while that safety car had been out, and they are going to be trying to make the better strategy work here. But both sets of drivers, I think, running 1 more pit stop if they can get away with it. Back to Camzilla just to have a look at his wear rates. I think 1 more stop might be just about achievable. But again, you'll have to tell me what your opinion is with our live audience here. It is Zen in 6th and Larry in 7th. Larry showed better pace earlier on. It's seeming to work at the moment then for Larry, who's able to just get that BMW very smoothly through the corner. We're going for an overtake around the ill-favoured side here. Behind them, we've also got the the Karate Tortoises moving forward behind, with Nismo overtaking the Team Amazon car as the exact same thing is happening. Teammate battles in synchronicity as Larry is as I said before, not in a good position here to make the overtake. He's going to brake much earlier, almost causing a problem for his teammate Nismo to get down. On last season's form, Nismo was the faster of himself and Larry. But now they're in equal cars. Will we see a difference? Because everybody wanted to be in that Lamborghini Huracan last season, and Zen and Nismo had that opportunity. Larry then looking for that chance to overtake. He needs to move forward. He is now 7.7 seconds away from Camzilla's lead, and these Karate Tortoises would love to get a double podium, if at all possible, today to start the new season strong. As Kuros Kais is slow and steady, wins the race, as Larry starting to get a bit impatient, and I think Zen was pushed a little to the outside there. I think Larry's given that place back, and it couldn't be busier. An absolute traffic jam as they come down towards the bus stop here. They are going to be giving each other the toe. Fantastic team battle racing going on here. The Turtles, I should say, the Tortoises have got to fancy their chances of both getting the inside line into the bus stop. And indeed it worked out that way. Larry up into 6th, Nismo streaking into 5th place at this stage, and they will now have the opportunity to work together. And I see a flash of yellow, and that can only mean one thing. Junkai is off the tail of the grid, and he's back up then into P11 and charging hard. Tremendous stuff for these drivers. Komakopa, leader of Team Universal Studios, with Glovas right behind him in the Team Chameleon, who are pretending to be Amazon cars this time out, as the Tortoises head down into turn 1, but it looks like they were too close to each other. Let's see if there was any contact, in fact, between those two teammates. Larry down to 8th position. Unbelievable, as they were trying their absolute hardest. Here is Larry then, looking for that opportunity down into the inside, but I think missing his braking zone. And then you see, as his heart sinks, the cars he worked so hard to pass, the Ferraris in the Team Amazon guys livery, back out there, and unfortunately he has to do the job all over again. In fact, Larry has lost out to Komakopa as well. Shocking. Lap 23 has begun for Larry. He's got to keep cool in the cockpit and correct that situation. The tyres will be starting to feel it. Is it time, perhaps, with 16 minutes on the clock, is it time to cut your losses, Larry, and try and get the undercut here? Try and fuel up to the end of the race. Try and get those hard tyres on and do something different now and get ahead of these warring drivers. Nismo has checked out from the battle. He's in P5. He is 5.1 seconds only away from Camzilla's lead. Preston, Berman and Floody out of position, you have to say, at this point, but who knows, after that caution period, maybe they were playing it cool and calm, and will be in a good position for later on in the race. But only 15 minutes remain of our 1 hour, and I will just take a quick drink. Excuse me a moment. Preston into the pits then, and we have Camzilla leading Floody. So it is Team America P1 and P2. Similar fuel loads, similar tyre situation for Camzilla and Floody. They've got their strategy and they're sticking to it. We've got Nismo all the way up to P3. All drivers planning one more stop on the car. Preston stayed out, says Saito. He may pull this off, but Jim's saying it might be a 32-lap race, so it might be a bit early for that final pit stop just yet. They will try it. They will do whatever they can. Certainly Preston thinks he can. He might have to turn the power down for a lap or two, but then we've got the Amazon cars of Zen and Mercury in P4 and P5. 8 laps on fuel map 1 is possible, says Arcane. It will vary in between the manufacturers, but Komakopa is in 6th place. So they're looking for 8 laps to go now. This is lap 14. We don't have a standout leader at this stage. You're going to have to ask Lovas later for me if he is indeed driving with traction control on 2. I'll be most upset if that's the case. Junkai is in 8th with Don't Need Time in 9th position. Preston is in 10th after the pit stop and 43 seconds away from the lead. He could really do with finding a car to use for the slipstream here. Larry down in 11th, 45 seconds away from Camzilla's lead, and then S. Berman in 12th. Larry has pitted, full tank of fuel went into that BMW. It will be a thirsty beast though, as Camzilla and Floody are in the pits. Nismo has stayed out. Now this will really favour any drivers who have managed to run that little bit longer, because of the reduced fuel flow rate means that pit stops and fuel in time will be a greater penalty. So the later you can stop for your final tank, the less time you will spend refilling, obviously. Nismo 4.6 seconds in the lead now. Comacopa is in the hunt potentially, but having yet to pit. We wait to see. Mercury has now pitted, the lead driver in the pits at this stage, but I think Camzilla will be about to head on out. We've got Glovas who is doing something different at the moment. He's in P3 in the Genesis Team Chameleon driver, and just behind Comacopa. The drivers will be not too keen to lose time at this stage. This is a really important part of the race for them. This is the calm before the final stint storm, certainly we hope. And there is Glovas pushing hard and hitting the Armco or even the concrete wall, I think it is, and shaving a few sparks off that Genesis. Nismo leading, Comacopa and Glovas. Camzilla will come out of the pits. How far away? 37 seconds from Nismo's lead now, and then we'll start to see the gaps as they should be. Floody for Team America, potential P1 and 2 today. I think they're within the pit stop delta of Nismo's car. And Preston is looking good as well in P6, possibly in P3 net after all, with a very quiet start to this race, but is there or thereabouts at the start of this final stint. We think potentially 7 laps left to go of the race, as Don't Need Time is in 7th, Larry down in 8th place, and we see the front 3 drivers pitting now. That was the Amazon drivers getting very close to one another once again, as S. Berman Zanshin fights off Junkai, who's in P12 at this stage, but they will all pass those erstwhile leaders in the pits now. Junkai is in no man's land on the high side here as they run in, as Zen is hogging that apron line and doesn't want to give it up. He's trying to follow his team leader as well, but will they be able to sneak a move down the inside? Some great overspeed here. They may end up all getting past Mercury given the overspeed, and S. Berman, oh wow, what a move. Absolutely on the limit for S. Berman there as he scorches his way ahead of Zen. And we've got drivers coming out of the pits, and we've got drivers up to full racing speed here. There are battles throughout the grid, and we absolutely love this. Final stint of the first race of season 4.1 here at Deviant Racing League, and we've got the middle battle on the grid at the moment. This is Larry in P6. He is only 3 seconds away from Camzilla's lead. That is certainly achievable in the next few laps, but they have got to get these other drivers out of the way first. Nismo is in 5th. He had a very short pit stop, thanks to being able to pit last, and he's tried the soft tyres as well with 10 minutes left on the race. That's pretty brave move from Nismo, and he will be quick at this stage, so maybe he gets to be the hare while Larry gets to be the tortoise here, and he will perhaps go off in search and in the hunt of Camzilla and Floody and try and slow them down as much as he possibly can. The front 3 as they pitted, Glovas is looking great, but he's got a 3-second penalty, and Floody's picked up a half-second penalty as well. That is going to make this a lot easier for Nismo, who's going to come through. You will see those go off throttle. Sometimes the game even puts the brakes on the car, as Alexandra is cheering on the Karate Tortoises. There is Glovas' penalty, and you saw Floody drop back from his team leader at this stage. Looking back, as that loss of momentum for the car was absolutely immense for Glovas, picking up 3 seconds. That has to be a major apex cut, as Nismo is almost alongside Floody here. Floody holding station, holding the inside line into the international horseshoe, turn 3, the official turn 3. They kind of wiggle around a bit before they get there, but the official turn 3. And then through in towards the dogleg. Usually you can take this with the merest of lifts heading through, but of course it depends on your tyre situation at any given point. Nismo looking for that undercut and managing a great manoeuvre there. That's the soft tyres at play, and he'll look for a good run through the in and out and onto the backstretch before heading towards the bus stop once again. That was tyres squealing. That, I think, was Preston having a problem. Now, did he jump or was he pushed? Let's have a look for him. He's probably a little bit distracted by what is happening in front of him. Into the in and out. You could hear the tyres giving up, and then it is just an oversteery traction moment there for him, unfortunately, and losing ground on the leaders. Here we have Floody then looking back towards Nismo, going through that bus stop, and Floody will be wondering what on earth Nismo is doing to get this traction, but he's got the soft tyres, Nismo, and is now just 2.4 seconds, I think, away from the lead of this race. Larry, Nismo's teammate, is waiting in the wings to try and catch this group as well, and Nismo is able to look at the difference this is just tyre difference, and he's got so much confidence down into the braking zone of turn 1. Great manoeuvre from him, and that is then Nismo into the lead of our race. Into the second position. I'm getting ahead of myself. I think we'll be there in a couple of laps time. I think he will catch Camzilla. Now just 1.1 seconds away only. What news of Larry, the other Karate Tortoise? Well, he is in P5, can't quite pass, don't need time just yet. John Kai has managed to rescue himself from the back of the grid up into, I think what that is, P11 at the moment, but it is all to play for still here throughout the grid at Deviant Racing League's GTD Pro, a new GTD Pro era, and both the GTD Pros and the GTDs will be driving the same spec of car, so they can get themselves ready for promotion if possible, and it's not too much of an ignominy if you do get demoted as well. Nismo in second position, 1.1. That hasn't really changed at this point, but he has got a purple sector. He is loving life on the soft tyres at this stage. Who's your money on here to get on the podium with what we think to be 4 laps to go, definitely to be 6 minutes to go before the checkered flag? Place your bets now as to your potential podium. Nismo, though, a half-second penalty is going to hurt hugely. It hurts a lot more than half a second, to be sure, and he'll be forced, as it says, to decelerate for half a second off throttle. Might have to drop down a gear, and Floody will say thank you very much. I don't mind getting that back for team leader here, and let's see if Team America can hold on to a podium, or will Nismo, down the inside, tried Nismo there, last of the late breakers, leaning on that front axle and holding on to second. Can't quite believe he managed that, but with a penalty held on to the position, and he's still got plenty of work to do. Larry's made it past, don't need time now, but he's got 4 seconds to catch here. That's a big delta to try and get himself even on the podium. 1.7 seconds, but he's feeling a little bit unleashed now. Passing don't need time, who has been very, very difficult for the drivers to pass today, as Mercury is in 6th, S. Berman in 7th, Glovas in 8th position, and then we have Karma Copa and John Kai, Team Universal, in P9 and P10 at the moment. Preston for Team Pipe Fitness, we saw him sideways a few moments ago, and he's in 11th place. Zen getting that Ferrari, which is not super favoured at the moment. It seems to have been a little bit nuked, I think, in the recent update. Lots of drivers I know complaining about how the Ferrari behaves on track now. Chaotica down in 14th position for Team Cannonball and last, but Camzilla hoping now against hope to hold on, as Nismo has managed to extend the gap to P3 but not really caught the gap to P1. 4 minutes on the clock. Is it going to be a cowabunga finish for the Karate Tortoises, or will the Snakes of Team America hold on to this podium? It is Larry in 4th place. He's only 1 second away from Floody, so definitely within a penalty or a mistake range here, with just a couple of laps left to go, as the drivers are just holding on to the grip as much as possible. S. Berman leaving the door well and truly open into turn 1, allowing Glovas to come on through. Mercury already made it, he's in P6, and that was Glovas way out of town there, unfortunately for him, and making a huge error, it seems. This was Glovas, got out onto the marbles slightly, really leaning on S. Berman's car, and then we're looking for the braking zone into the corner, and something, oh, it was a bang. It was a bang from the rear from S. Berman, and that has completely ruined his race. Glovas won't be best pleased to see that take place, but I'm sure the stewards will sort it all out later on. It's lap 30. It's just under 3 minutes to go in our race. We've got Kamzilla leading Nismo and Floody, with Larry back there in 4th position as well. Gus cheering on from home, Alexandra cheering on as well, but Larry might need to settle for 4th on the road, as Arcane says. Berman not called. The tyres are becoming a problem for our drivers. We will just check that out. Berman's tyre wear, I can't really give him that excuse, can you? I wonder if, though, Berman was feeling like he had had it done to him on the previous run into turn 1. We hadn't seen the background. Obviously, we don't condone driver justice here at the Deviant Racing League, but we will have that situation as Donny Time has made it back past Larry. I wonder if a penalty had a part to play in that particular re-exchange. Donny Time on for a fabulous run here. Donny Time is running a fantastic race. Really good stuff from him. So I must say that TD did tell me that the mascot is snakes because because they are driving the Viper, and because of Carroll Shelby helped with the GT creation of the Viper, and of course he has the Cobra, but I'm not sure. Cobra, Viper, I'm not quite sure what type of snake it is on the side of the Team America cars. We will have to have a closer look in a moment, but it is really heating up here for the battle to finish out the race. It is Kamzilla 0.6 of a second away only from Nismo, who is shredding through those soft tyres, but is catching hand over fist now. He had a quiet couple of laps, but he's absolutely pushing incredibly hard now. Here goes Nismo in 2nd place. 1 minute remains. We are heading towards the final lap. I don't know if we're quite on the final lap yet. We shall see. I think it will be the 32nd and final lap. The drivers have overfueled quite considerably, so they're still learning how much fuel they're going to need here, and they can't manage it. I think Dirk says brakes broken. Absolutely. It's an American snake with a mullet and a trucker hat. Okay, awesome. There's no eagles though, which is disappointing. We're counting down the seconds. There will be just one final lap of this race. Well, there is the final lap of every race, obviously, but you know what I mean. 32 is the number here, but we're counting down. We will see some drivers finishing up here. Don't Need Time is waiting on the finish line here to finish. I'm not sure what that's about, but there he goes to pick up the checkered flag. Chaotica will finish the race in 14th position, no question about that, and Nismo's gap has opened out now to Kamzilla. Floody trying to do everything he can to distract Nismo, moving around in the mirrors, make Nismo go offline as much as possible. That is the order of the day here for Team America, for Floody in his defense of Kamzilla. Just keep him guessing, hope that Kamzilla doesn't make a mistake going through the bus stop. That's pretty much all he has left to do now, Kamzilla, to run through and pick up the first race win of this season. A fantastic one here at the historic Daytona, home of the Daytona 24, of course. And into the bus stop we go. Kamzilla P1 and just watch the name above that car to see whether we get any kind of penalty added. But no, there's nothing happening. It's as they were for second and third. I wonder though, is Floody going to go for it here at the final run? Is it Nismo, whose tyres have just not lasted this last 30-second lap? Camzilla is going to do the job here for Dodge, for Team America, and win the first race this season. And it's a 1-2 for Team America at the Daytona Raceway with second position. Nismo beaten at the line by the tiniest of margins. Junkai, what a finish to come in fourth position ahead of Mercury and S. Berman, with Karma Copa in seventh. We have Zen crossing the line in eighth place, Preston in ninth, Larry coming home unfortunately in 10th, and I'm sure he will have a real tale to tell at the about that final lap. Glovas 11th position, will get the checker now. Izzy, in racing in the VR system, is in P12 and touring very, very slowly indeed. Don't Need Time coming home in 13th. I'm not sure what was going on with Don't Need Time there at the end. He waited at the line for everybody to pass, but look at this. The stars and stripes fly as Floody and Camzilla, Team America, are the victors of the first race of season 4.1 here for the brand new GTD Pro era here at Deviant Racing League. We'll take you through the final standings momentarily. Well, I've pretty much already done that. You can see it on the screen. But I will probably need to head off in a second. It's been an absolute pleasure to have everybody join us here for the race today. Thank you to everybody who's engaged with the race. Do join us in just a few minutes' time for the GTD race still to come. And if that was anything to go by, we are on for a real treat here today at Daytona. Thanks everybody. I'll just finish scrolling through the finish times here for everybody, and for the sake of replays. But brilliant stuff, and congratulations to Team America. Congratulations to Camzilla, who takes home all the plaudits from today's race. Fantastic stuff there. And a quick look at the final standings. You can pause it if you need to. But for me, I'm going to head away for just a second, keep refreshing the homepage, the channel homepage, to see what's happening. But thanks for watching, everybody, and we will catch you on the next race day.